Hey, everybody, you've made it to Friday. It's Friday in the big city. This is Bill Bostic with the Gazette Morning Update for Friday, March 16, the big 1/6, in the year 2018. The Lower Paxton Township's one and only newscast is up and running once again. And we need to start that clock. Here we go. So, before we get too much farther, a big thing I got to do, and that's to wish everybody out in Facebook land a little early St. Patrick's Day. Now, I don't broadcast over the weekend, so we got to do this now. Hopefully you have all your preparations ready to go. You have your favorite beverages, whatever they may be, lined up. You know where you're going to be going to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. A few years ago, I had the opportunity to actually be at St. Patrick's Cathedral in Scotland somewhere. I know it was near St. Andrews. I may be really screwed up about that, but I think that's the land where all some of this stuff came out of anyways. Don't write that down. That may be very inaccurate. Before we get into anything, just want to give you a couple company notes, some show notes here. The wacky weather guy is still floating around. His role has been diminished quite a bit here. If you're not familiar with WWG, the wacky weather guy, he was all over the place on Linglestown Gazette in 2017. Certainly the back last half of the year, he would pop up and do some crazy things with a weather report, first for Coons Park and then later for our region, for our area. Unconventional weather broadcasting is what this guy did. We put him on the bench at the end of the year, but he's back and really getting restless after having 2.5 months of limited activity, just doing some things around the office here, and still missing his sidekick Elaine, who's out there somewhere in Berks County. So anyways, WWG wanted me to take a moment and just say that he is now doing birthday parties, office parties, and that kind of thing. What he does, which many people find entertaining, is he actually does life forecasts. So he'll have someone, sometimes he holds his hand, sometimes he give them a hug, sometimes he shakes their hand. It really depends just where the mojo's going with WWG, and at that point, something like flashes across his eyes, he says, and he's able to forecast that individual's life. So if you want to bring him into the fold and have him come to your event, just let Linglestown Gazette know. We'll contact WWG for you. On a more serious note, next week we have some things coming down the line I wanted you to know about. The second part of the Singers, that's SINGERS, Singers, Gabby and Scott Singer, will be back with part 2 of sports director Joe Gilloway's talk with them about their outstanding athletic careers at Central Dauphin High School. And Gabby went on to quite a stellar collegiate career in basketball, and what they're doing now to help other people, young people primarily, but even older people, advance their basketball skills. So that's the Singers Gazette Sports Chat. Part 2 will be showing up. Also, our mystery lifestyle writer will be back with a new place locally you can try out. So that'll be next week as well. And also next Wednesday, which will be March 21st, Linglestown Gazette Sports, of course, headed up by Joe Gilloway, will be doing a special show from St. Thomas Roasters, kicking off at 7 o'clock. That's this coming Wednesday. And we'll be with Central Dauphin Lady Rams basketball coach Randy Gambalungi, or better known as Coach G, who led the Lady Rams to a District 3 title, the second one in a row, and into the top 16 of the state here recently in the state tournament. And I think some of the players may be around there as well. And we're going to have a special guest interviewer alongside Joe. His name is Weston, a great Central Dauphin high school sports fan, now attending Elizabethtown College. He will be joining Joe during that broadcast this coming Wednesday. So that's that. One last show, company note, holding this card up. I usually do this at the back of a broadcast once every 2 weeks or so. Do want to recommend or really suggest that if you find this show interesting, informative, maybe on occasions entertaining, that you consider becoming a patron of Linglestown Gazette. And in the show notes, I'll give you a link. It's a site called Patreon, sort of a spin-off on Patreon, patreon.com/Bill Bostic. You can become a patron. I suggest $5 a month. You can set it up on PayPal or a credit card or a debit card, or whatever you want. I mean, I had one individual do $1 a month, and that's fine. If you want to do more than $5 a month, that's fine too. But this is a non-profit operation, and it truly is non-profit. Take a look. When I open up my books to the world, you'll see it's truly non-profit. It's a public service we're doing here, and any help we get will be appreciated. Now, I got a pile of stuff here. Got 9 minutes. Look at it. I got like Rush Limbaugh, right? Got a pile of stuff topped off, and really our focus is going to be on the Paxton Herald. I used to malign and put down the Paxton Herald, and for some of it for good reason. Some of the stuff that shows up there is just crazy. But on the other hand, it's chock full of local happenings. It's chock full of stuff you can buy. It's almost like a flea market on paper. And if you want to stay in touch with the local scene, it's, as far as newspaper, this is the best bet. I mean, there's nothing close to it. And I mean, it's just something cool that shows up on my mailbox. I made that transition to, it's like, this is weird, to, this is fun, useful, worth my while. And we're going to go through some of the top stories here. Some of the stuff's been on Linglestown Gazette, other stuff not. They talk about the new, on top story, new top cop in Lower Paxton Township. We reported on this the night that Adam Koshiba was brought in as our new director of public safety. And the interesting thing about what they have in here is they have Mr. Koshiba's stellar background in policing and with the state police on page 4 of section 1. I mean, the last thing he did was he headed up he was the captain of Troop H here in Harrisburg. I mean, the whole bottom half of a page is filled up with his accomplishments and things he's done. And Lower Paxton Township, I think, is very, very fortunate. We have Mr. Koshiba coming in to head up our public safety operations here in the township. Big news, of course, out of West Hanover Township. Annette Antone, the publisher, printed a letter from a West Hanover Township resident that is demanding answers in recent halfway house escape. That was the one that locked down 5 schools in the area, 4 or 5 schools. So they're trying to work out some way that if someone escapes, that West Hanover Township somehow, some way is notified. I'm not sure how they're going to do that, but it's probably worthy to take a look at that. Other things. It's interesting now. I got a little bit of background on this. The garden clubs of the area, which there must be many, are showing up on the Paxton Herald regularly now. So, and it says, "Don't miss Spring Expo at Capitol Rotunda, sponsored by Garden Club of Harrisburg." That's going to be March 16th, which is actually today. Head down to the Rotunda. 20 community service projects and 12 floral arrangements will be on display by club members. And they have clubs coming in from all over the area. Linglestown American Legion makes the front page of the Paxton Herald this week. They're going to be hosting the first female commander of the American Legion National Commander Denise Rohan. Geez, I need to get my magnifying glass, folks, to see this. I can't read it. It's not showing up in my vision. Yeah, Denise Rohan will be in town on Tuesday, and Linglestown Gazette is tentatively scheduled to cover that. That's a major honor for our American Legion here in Linglestown to host a top official like that. And then the last thing on the front page worthy of note is there's a candidates forum. Oh, the candidates forum actually happened last night. But what this was about the new 10th congressional district. If you haven't been following along in the news, Pennsylvania had a big political hubbub about our congressional district map. Of course, we're served right now by United States Representative Lou Barletta out of Hazleton, the former mayor of Hazleton. Now things are going to be all jumbled up, and we're going to have a new Pennsylvania 10th congressional district, which I believe we're now part of moving forward. And there's candidates lining up, so I'm going to have to do that separately. But just be aware that things are jumbled up now when it comes to our congressional representation. I believe we're in I think we were in the 11th district, something like that. Now we're in the 10th district. This is the map that the Pennsylvania Supreme Court put together. And our representatives in the Pennsylvania legislature are not too happy that the Supreme Court did that. So we'll be taking a look at that moving forward in that particular race. Now, there's other things in the Paxton Herald. Let me just see where we're at here time-wise. Still have 4 minutes. I mean, this thing was chock full of stuff this week. Let me just go through here. I starred all kinds of stuff. There's, if you go into the legal notices section, there is a sale of stored items. You know, those storage units. That's coming up. March 26th, there's one. There's a vehicle auction notice. Another one of those. So I mean, you can buy cars. You can buy stuff out of storage units. This is all the kind of stuff you're going to find out in the Paxton Herald. Now, if here in nearby or neighboring West Hanover Township, learn about invasive plants in West Hanover Township on March 24th. You can find art. The joint Central Dauphin East and Swatara Middle School production of Once on This Island. That'll take place March 23rd, 24th, 25th. Information in the Paxton Herald about that. My gosh. Let's see what else we have here. Spaghetti dinner at Harrisburg Hunters and Anglers on March 24th. That's in Lower Paxton Township, I believe. Oh, yeah. We talked about the American Legion on Mountain Road, just across the street from Hornung's Ace Hardware. They have a breakfast buffet every Sunday that's pretty popular in the area. You go in there, they have a grand buffet. So if you want to support that, I'm trying to find the time frame here. It's open to the public. You don't need to be a member. It's 8 o'clock it opens up, and it runs through 12:30. That's a Sunday breakfast brunch buffet. Linglestown American Legion, 505 North Mountain Road. So check that out. I've been there a few times, and I do enjoy that very much. Moving to Section 2. See if we can run... Lower Paxton Linus Club Easter egg sale. That's on page 2 of Section 2. And we got... people are running out of here to get the Paxton Herald. I can tell all my viewership is going down. Well, that pretty much wraps it up. It gives you an example of all the great things in the Paxton Herald. Let's do a few shout-outs here. I want to say good morning to Becky, Rebecca. Let's see if... And I can't see the other one. It's probably Tim. So welcome and thanks for checking in. So that's pretty much puts another Gazette Morning Update in the books for another week. It's been a very active week. Check back on Facebook and take a look at the archives, the different things that have shown up. Interesting week with the walkout, the national walkout regarding the gun control and all kinds of things that are in there on Facebook Live, and also Linglestowngazette.com. And we do some experimenting with Instagram every once in a while with photos. And also, if you're on Twitter, it's Linglestown is the login there, I believe. So we're all over the place and looking to grow and do different things as we move along. And just thank you for stopping by. And I wish you, again, a very, very happy St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. This is Bill Bostic signing off for another week with the Gazette Morning Update, brought to you by Consolidated Insurance Services, 6109 Jonestown Road, and also Democratic Pennsylvania House candidate Eric Epstein. Eric Epstein, thank you, Eric, for your support. We'll see you on Monday in the Gazette Morning Update. Have a great weekend, everybody. See ya.